Do 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 do.
Doing the thing by pushing the button, sir.
What the fuck? Tony, what's going on?
Doing the thing by pushing the button. We are the
We did the
Podguyz
thing.
Podcast. Bringing it to you as we do every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. Little technical glitch on our back end. So, yeah, a lot of that to do. Fuck you to good old Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoom. Thank you, Zoom. You're doing your best impression of StreamYard right now by just for no reason at all fucking up.
Every time. So, we have a full house today. Of course, I'm Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary here.
Of course, we have the ever-loving Picasso, the Star Wars maestro himself, Le Sparky.
And Sparky is got the big board out high. If you have not watched the show before, Sparky will be kind of drawing what we're talking about. And sometimes he is actually in the event himself, and he's an eyewitness. He doesn't really know how to use the camera phone, so all he does do is just draw from memory. And his pictures are very graphic, so brace yourself.
Yeah. We go into fine detail, of course, the impeccable colors, the incurable brushstroke that is used in each character to enliven it like a gypsy woman.
I'm giving extra points to Tony on that one for sticking the landing on that sentence. I did not think it was going to happen. A little wobble at the top there. A little flail.
Well, we have two guests today.
It stumbled out the gate, but it finished the race. That's all.
Yeah.
Boom! Pop the landing. We got two guests today. That's right, two guests. You may not know him, but you will know him. He's Double B, Brad Barrish.
What's happening, fellas? Thanks for having me.
And everybody out in the world as well. Now, we are joined by a legend in his own mind, of course, the inelectable and delectable Matty Burns.
Matty Burns.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Thanks for having
Matty
me on.
Tat.
Yepers.
Matt, do you have a tat? A couple tat?
I don't have any tat-tats.
No tat-tats. So you're Matty untat-tat.
There's not a single tat-tat on this beautiful skin here.
Mm-hmm. He's
Very
Matty
nice.
Untat-Tat. For those of you who may not know him, for some of you that do know him, you're going to get to learn a lot about him. So Matt is a West Virginia native. Am I correct in that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. He is an independent film producer and actor from the Eastern Panhandle of the West Virginia region. And formerly, a rock musician promoter, a random meeting with B-movie legend Conrad Brooks at a local food line grocery store, got his first taste of DIY. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, Matty Tat.
Yeah, so I was finishing up work one day working for Dr. Pepper. I was a merchandiser for them, and I was leaving a food line when this, and I had like a work like a mechanic shirt on or whatever that we all wore for the job. It was a really hot day, so I had a t-shirt on under it. So the shirt I had on under it was a Plan 9 from Outer Space shirt, which of course Conrad Brooks was featured as a cop in or whatever. And I had this shirt on, and then this little old man came up to me. He was about 75, 80 years old, and he's like, "Hey, champ, you like Plan 9? You like Ed Wood movies?" I was like, "Yeah." And I started talking to him for a little bit, and I was just like, "The fuck's this old man want? Does he need money for the bus or something? Why is he talking to me about this shit?" It was just so random or whatever. And I was like, "Well," I was like, "Well, sir, nice to meet you, but I'm going home. I just got off work." And he sticks his hand out. And he says, "Nice to meet you, champ. I'm Conrad Brooks." The first thing that came out of my mouth is I said, "No, you're not." I just kept walking. I thought he was like delirious or something. I was like, "Conrad Brooks from the Ed Wood movies, you're nuts, dude. There's no way that's you." And he's like, "No, champ, come here. I was like, "Oh God, what have I done? I'm gonna wind up in a dungeon somewhere here, probably, or whatever." But he took me out to his car, and he popped the trunk, and there was all his merchandise. He had all of his movies and like pictures of him and Johnny Depp, pictures of him and Bela Lugosi. I was like, "Holy crap!" I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
That'd be great if he just photoshopped himself into all those pictures, and he's like, "Hey, look at me."
Yeah, right.
Oh, is that
This was like the mid 2000s though, so Photoshop wasn't that good yet. I don't think, at least not on the personal standpoint. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, nowadays somebody could totally do that. Nowadays somebody could totally do that. But yeah, but yeah, so we kind of became friends after that, and I got to be in one of his movies, and it was pretty cool. And I've been like I went back into the music business after that for a little while, but then around
Whoa. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. You're going too quick. Too quick. Sorry. Questions, answers. We got this. What movie did you star in with him?
The first movie I was ever in was a movie called Gypsy Vampire: The Final Bloodlust, which was the fourth of a series. Yeah, fourth of a series of the Gypsy Vampire, was starring Bruce, a gentleman by the name of Bruce Lindsay, and he was the vampire. And funny story, he wound up kind of walking out midway through. I'm not sure what happened there, some kind of creative differences, and then the movie wound up like half of it had him of it, half of it had me in it, which was weird, but yeah, we finished the thing, and it came out. It's on Alpha Video, which is oldies.com. You can still order the DVDs for like I think they're like $6-7, not super expensive.
So it didn't even make VHS.
Oh no! Unfortunately, 2006. I think by the time it came out, it was around 2008. That was past VHS.
We're looking 2000. We're looking 2009. A vampire's mortician plans to find a bride for his monster lab assistant. A vampire mortician plans to find. Yeah, it's a repetition right there on IMDb.com. You can find a gypsy vampire, The Final Bloodlust, in 2009.
Yeah, so well past the VHS stage.
Yeah, VHS there are some people out here that are releasing movies out in VHS just for nostalgic sake and doing it at like a drive-in. And it's got that grainy kind of filthy footage to it where when you're watching it, you say to yourself, why am I here?
I feel like they would
do this to myself.
I feel like it's perfect for a B horror movie though.
It is.
It adds to the nostalgia of it.
Yeah, that's the one format that it works for sure. That's the one format
that is the only format anymore that it works for. Old action movies, like when Tarantino was bringing back that kind of grainy look, romanticizing what they were doing throughout the late 70s, early 80s kind of action flick, where every action movie was kind of the same until you got I think they kind of hit their end when it came to was it Tango and Cash? Am I wrong on the title?
Yeah, right? Tango
and Cash. Yeah, with Stallone, where both actors couldn't be in the same scene together. They had to cut it up so hard because these guys were dueling it out or whatever. It just I think that's when it hit its precipice right there, where they're just like, okay, how about just Terminator movies from now on?
Yeah, let's just do nothing but Terminators. Yeah.
Terminators and diehards, basically. Bruce
diehard there, yeah. Because Bruce Willis has to be in there too somehow.
They threw it all together. The Expendables.
Yeah, and it feels like they all wanted their own franchise, but they're like, listen, guys, we could do you all in your own franchise, but you're probably all going to make a lot less money, or we could just put you all together in a bundle package. Who doesn't like to bundle? And
have the Royal Rumble of action stars. Basically.
Yeah, it turned into
it's like a Progressive commercial.
I like the Royal Rumble of action stars where they're like, they ring the bell, they're like, who else Statham, what are you doing here? Yeah. Terry Crews? Why? That doesn't make any sense.
Chuck Norris.
Holy hell, it's John.
Oh my God, Chuck Norris. I got to bring this up, Tony. I was watching Walker, Texas Ranger, right?
Just for randomness, by the way.
Now, I've watched every season of Walker, Texas Ranger, and there's 6 seasons altogether. The last season, right now, it's pretty campy. We can all agree that Walker, Texas Ranger, pretty campy. Season 6 they have like these really dark fucking plots to it. I mean, like really dark, where a woman gets kidnapped, drugged, tied to a thing, but then they cut back and it's still like Chuck Norris being like, and that's how you cook a hot dog. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you guys even doing? And like a little kid's like, wow, thanks.
They were just like They were just like, Chuck, we're glad you're here. We're just glad you're here. You do whatever you want, and we'll figure out how to fit it in.
I want to be a real Texas Ranger. Well, if you drink your milk and eat right, you soon will be a real Texas Ranger. Cutscene, woman's getting like beaten, tortured, and almost.
I always absolutely weren't worried that they were going to use Chuck Norris jokes throughout Texas Ranger and then just have Chuck Norris show up in the background.
It would have been a little bit better than this. There was the one episode, season 6, by the way, episode 3. They're running like coke and all sorts of drugs and crap. And like, there's some murders like on scene. And, Texas Ranger Chuck Norris is not there for it yet. Walker Texas Ranger is not there for it yet. So it's just like the ridiculous cutscenes where he's like, we're finally going to tie the knot, and we're going to go dress shopping today. And his wife, she starts like, oh, I can't wait, and then bam, another cutscene where this guy's just getting randomly punched in the face. He's fucking bleeding. I'm like, whoa, there is absolutely no. We've lost
zero transition.
It's almost like if you had Matlock, right, and then somehow Matlock was in the middle of fucking Breaking Bad. Like if fucking Andy Griffith was now Better Call Saul, and he's just like, well, I don't know if I can defend you. And my best, like, listen, I say when we're done here. It's like, dude, I don't think Andy Griffith should be in this.
The best way to interact with that would be with the Bowflex.
Yeah, yeah. Like after he gets done kicking ass of all the bad guys, he's like, after a long day, I like to take the Bowflex. Christy Brinkley comes in, just turns into a full infomercial. Like by watching a commercial, then you turn on where Michael Keaton plays a much better looking version of Ray Kroc, and you're like, wait, this is another commercial. I always said Michael Keaton
commercials.
I would say Michael
Sparky's
Keaton
got a good commercial.
Go ahead, Sparky, flip it around, my man. Says, hey, I do not see anything in the truck. Are you trying to trick me? In the trunk? Are you trying to trick me? What's going on there, Sparky?
Well, the poor guy's looking in the trunk. The other guy's standing behind him with the crowbar.
Okay. And
it's a little creeper van.
It is, yeah.
It is a creeper van.
You can tell it's like one of those futuristic cars because the steering wheel's coming out of the windshield. You hold it up like this.
Put an alcoholic Don Knotts behind the wheel, Hey, little kid, come here with some candy.
Yeah. Or Clint, or you want to talk about a B movie, Clint Howard and Ice Cream Man. Anybody remember that one?
Oh my God.
Love Clint Howard. Love
Clint Howard. Clint Howard's the man. We had him in one of my horror cons. He's such a nice guy too.
Yeah,
so
the B movie of all B movies, I think we can all agree, is The Room, right? Like what a piece of shit of the original, not the movie after the original where they're like, hey, let's make fun of this movie or redocument it just to get a cash grab. But holy crap. Tommy Wiseau doing his thing. I did not like after he edited that. How could he watch the whole thing through and he's like, I'm amazing. How could he fucking do that?
He still believes that too. Like he still thinks he's this great actor, and it's just like, and doesn't understand why Hollywood. It's like those people in Troll 2 that think that Troll 2 is this great movie and it's this terrible B flick.
There was this movie after that Tommy Wiseau did, and it wasn't bad, but it felt like two movies. It felt like I was watching a movie, and then it just took a quick turn where they're like,
it's like a Dollar Tree General.
What was that
version of Nick Cage? He never says no to a new movie, like even in that time. And then he did some horrible movies.
He played a mortician or whatever. Tommy Wiseau in this movie, he played a mortician with let me see here if I can find it. Mortician. No, that's not it. Fucking A. I forget that. We'll move on. But it really wasn't bad until it turned into a second.
Another movie. It's like Nick Cage and the Wicker Man with the bees. Like,
oh God, don't. Yeah. That was also that felt like it felt like it had a potential like a Shutter Island at the beginning. Where you're like, guy's going okay, and he's gonna get some clues. It's gonna be a thriller mystery. Nope. It's just an elaborate hoax to kill Nick Cage's character. Cool.
He's apparently in a movie, not necessarily now, but it came out in 2023 called Big Shark.
I saw that. Yeah, Big Shark. Yeah.
I felt like guessing, the last one I saw.
Go ahead, Brett.
I was gonna say I felt like the last one I saw was when he did that. What was it? Renfield,
Renfield,
right? Where he plays the vampire.
Yeah, he basically plays Dracula.
Oh, that was Nick Cage.
Right.
Nick Cage, yeah. With the
Renfield was not terrible. It was actually pretty entertaining. I thought it actually was.
Okay. So the name of the movie is Friends.
Best Friends.
Yeah, Best Friends or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had Best Friends. He had Best Friends Volume 1 and Best Friends Volume 2 for Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, and oh my God, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to explain to somebody who puts their whole passion into something. Either that or he's just, a very dedicated con artist where you're like, hey man, the jig is up. We know this is a bad movie. Like, oh no, it's very good. I was told I'm a good Hollywood actor. It's like, no, you're not.
A-lister.
Drop the act.
It's called delusion. A lot of people. It's called delusion.
People have. Yeah,
I held pens for him. Did you know that, Kevin?
yeah. We had some pen holders on the show.
Yeah,
we got
pen holders for Tommy Wiseau.
Delusions, and
I'm sorry, Tony. Before continue on with the B movie, Tat.
Oh, so Matty Tat. Of course, your particular production repertoire follows as oh shit! God damn it! You hate when you go into a profile.
I think I did work on those movies, man. Thanks for shouting them out. I appreciate it.
Well, you were the producer for many a show. The Only Ones, The Legend of Crickfoot, Go Away, One of One, Brazen Impact, and The Remnants. Of course, for since 2020.
Yeah, that's some of the more recent stuff I've done. Yeah, I was gonna say that's some of the more recent stuff that I've done. It's pretty. I was gonna say. I mean, I try not to work on just one genre. I mean, Brazen Impact's actually a crime thriller. One of One's actually a comedy. So I was gonna say. So I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Most of the stuff I work on is horror, but I mean, and the Only Ones has gotten a really good response in the film festival. We actually got accepted onto a film festival sponsored by Fangoria, which Fangoria magazine, which is pretty cool. So I was gonna say. So yeah, no, it's always a lot of fun. Every project has its own fun, and I mean, some of the stuff is just total no budget schlock, but that's also cool. That's fun too. So.
No budget slop, dude. I've been there. I've been there, done that. Especially the worst part is when you have a little bit of a budget, a lot of a script, and then the script keeps changing.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to keep changing the script because you can't fit the what you have on the page. And no, it's true. It's a blessing and a curse, man. I mean, it's good to have these, but then it's like, man, you run out of money or whatever. It's just like, you have to make it work. You just have to make it work.
It moves the creativity meter up a lot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But a lot of we had the one movie. It was Soda Jerks, and so it was based on guys working at a soda factory, and the idea was that they thought that they were training their replacements. So they figured if they just trained them really terrible, the replacements would be fired and they wouldn't have to worry about it. But what ended up happening is since they trained them so bad and they weren't really training their replacements, the company went out of business. Sort of thing. So a lot of humor along the way, but man, oh man, location had to change 4 separate times. That gets tricky with the best editor.
Been there. Yeah.
So we had some good editing. A person who originally wrote the script didn't like the rewrites. So then once the rewrites came in, it didn't fit with the story. So then I'm like, hey, I've been doing stand-up comedy. I think I was about 8-9 years in at the time. I'm 15 years in now, so I'm like, hey, I might be able to take a crack out of this. Turned out, the dialogue writing was great and flowed nice. Person that was in a majority of the scenes could not do any extra scenes because now they had a different project to take on because everything was taking too long. And I'm like, and it's just one thing after another. We went from one director to hey, by the way, Jerry, assistant, it's Jerry Cunningham, assistant director. Now you're the director. How do you feel about that? And he's like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, well, this is what you do.
Well, too bad because you're going to do it anyway. Too bad.
Pick up Dunkin' Donuts for everybody, for the love of God. We have not been eating all day.
Please get them something to eat, something to drink, maybe some waters, something.
Even before that,
crackers, something, cheese and crackers.
The bread and butter for B-class indie movies is always and man, there must be a million of these scripts out there. It's always a thriller with a horror thriller where teens, for some odd reason, find something from the past, have some flashback scenes, and then there has to be an object that you can fuck with a little bit of, with very low grade graphic technology. Best idea is probably a mirror, because you can mess with the mirror. So we had this one, it was called Reflection. And I tell you what, man, it was just really, really low grade acting, because no one was ready. The people that had been given the roles had never had these types of dialogue.
Right.
So,
it's hard to deal with kids and teenagers sometimes, because a lot of them have never done it before, and they're still kind of figuring things out. And
we did come in second though for the best. And now when it comes to Sundance Film Festival, you have to have X amount put into it to even get qualified for the idea.
Right,
quality assurance. But the more hilarious thing is all of the specifications of the awards given out. It got really nitty gritty. We came as a runner up to the best. So it was runner up of a new director. So new debut. There was like 5 movies there. So runner up, a new debut of a flashback scene involving horror/thriller and done in black and white and slow motion. By the way, there were 5 movies that also did that, and we came runner up. We came in second, and they made a trophy for second, like we're in the fucking Boy Scouts in the goddamn little car race and shit.
Wow.
I was in that scene, and by the way, that has never gotten me laid. Normally, the woman is falling asleep by that time because the roofie's kicked in, and I'm like, all right,
Well,
and the bartender's like, you can't take her home. That's my wife.
An explanation that you've had to give, because that's such an elaborate award with so many words. She's probably lost completely.
She was like, oh, so you're making this up then, right? No, it's a real thing. We did it. We came second to doing it, but second, we still got a trophy sort of thing.
But you got that thing made at the local trophy shop.
Yeah. But no, man, it's the they tried to make at that time they tried to make everybody kind of feel special about what they were doing. And the Sundance Film Festival, of course, now is still indie, but more corporate than indie. Because
Hollywood, that and Cannes and all, they own all those.
What happened was Quentin Tarantino kind of helped it and ruined it at the same time. What he would do is he would take his own script and kind of give it an indie feel, but a populated audience, right, doesn't like the idea of not knowing somebody in a film. So he'd throw a star in there where you're like, hey, I know who that is. What are they doing in this movie? Is this going to be something? Am I going to be the person to know about this? When in reality, if you're the person to know about something before it ever came out, you don't know any of the stars. You have no idea about anybody going on. I mean, that's how the Wilson brothers kind of got themselves rolling, even though they would be considered the best looking people ever out of the Indian conglomerate. It's like finding 2 people in the poker room at the fucking casino, and you're like, I think those 2 over there are going to make it. It's like, you're just saying that because they don't look like they're out of shape.
Yeah, they're not 50 pounds overweight with buck teeth and receding hairline and a hair lip.
3 divorces, a fucking VFW hat.
Kevin usually asks a pretty solid question, and I have to throw this out there because Kevin has some phenomenal questions for all of the directors, writers, people that have been on this show since the beginning of our time. And it's the Sophie's Choice question, Kevin. Would you like to ask your Sophie's Choice?
Oh my God, I have to. Well, you guys have. Is it the question I'm thinking of? Or
yes.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Brad, I want to get to Brad first before I ask the question, because Brad's chilling down there. He's being very patient. Brad.
He's a listener. He's a watcher.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. We know a little bit more about Matt. We want to introduce the audience to yourself as well. We had 20 people watching. It's well, probably 19 by now because my wife is going to bed.
Well, I'll get us down to 15. No worries there.
All right.
I don't know. Not much to tell. I'm just a working guy, an average Brad,
An average.
That's true.
an average Brad, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
me and Brad are good friends. We work together at a place of the unmentionables.
Nice. The I see you got the Star Wars background right there, a little C-3PO,
Oh, yeah.
doing his crypt dance and all that nice stuff, and then you got the R2D2 stuff rolling around there. But Matt, I noticed that you're a Baltimore Orioles fan. Is that true, or did you just pick that hat up out of nowhere?
Oh no, I love the Orioles. I've been a fan of them since birth. I'm all, well, I mean, where I am
He
in
likes
West
birds.
Virginia, I'm only about an hour and a half from Baltimore.
Well, your buddy Conrad Brooks was also a Baltimore Orioles fan. He's
Yes,
a
he
Baltimore
was.
native.
He was also originally from Baltimore as well.
I am originally from Baltimore as well.
But you're not an Orioles fan, I take it.
No, I'm a Red Sox fan.
Okay,
yeah.
as long as not the Yankees, okay. As long as not the Yankees, we're okay.
No, the Orioles were very fun to watch last year. They had a low pay grade, but a high percentage of wins big time. They were a lot of fun to watch. I think Cal Ripken Jr., Steve Martin, these are two people that have looked like they're 55 years old for the last 35 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're like, are you sure you should be out here, pal? It's like, yeah, I play every game. Like, are you good?
even though you played 2,600, but maybe that's why he looks so old now, because he played 2,600 straight games. Like,
yeah, he doesn't look like he should use the word junior. Like if
no,
he
not at all. I think he's
it's
graduated.
It's definitely not a thing. But Matt, out of all of your accomplishments so far in film, would you consider being on the Podguyz podcast right now the peak of your career?
I would. I mean, this it's a dream come true. Let me tell you.
See, look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
see, there
I
it
can
is. There it is.
On this podcast, I can retire now. You guys have been. I was gonna say. With that, good night, sir.
He's saying, wait,
We need to get him his trophy. He needs his trophy.
He's got a trophy. Well,
true.
Matt, we have a trophy for you. It is the best bearded person with glasses wearing a East Coast Baseball American League hat. Trophy.
There we go. Sparky has it right there.
It's not a runner-up trophy either. He's got it right there.
That trophy is your Sundance trophy. Am I right? Give me that exact same trophy, probably because you bought it from the trophy store.
It is the slam dance version of it, and it's more of like a ribbonish kind of thing,
Yeah.
Not quite the question I was thinking you were going to ask, Kevin.
No, okay.
Such as the Sophie's Choice question. If you had to pick one of your movies in order to love, marry, and kill, what would you put them in that particular order? Which one would you put at the top?
I hate giving choices. I hate giving choices out. Let's do it real quick, all right?
No, we're
Pacino or De Niro? You got to kill one. You got to let one live. Who's living? Who's dying? Pacino, De Niro.
That's a tough one. I think I would go. I think I'd go De Niro.
Oh, all right, Brad. Pacino, De Niro. You got to kill one. One's got to live. De Niro's living.
I'm taking De Niro.
De Niro's living. I would kill him so hard, man. He did not need to be in the movie The Joker just because of that. Meet the Fockers or whatever 3. I mean, Al Pacino, the worst sellout he's ever had so far, is doing a Dunkin' Donuts commercial to pay for child support.
All he ever had was being in an Adam Sandler movie, and the worst Adam Sandler movie, Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill, yeah, that is a terrible movie as well. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's worse than he got. That's worse than he got in Joker cameo. Okay.
You have the Godfather, Michael Corleone. That's a great character to play there, right? And then you have
Glengarry. I loved him in Ricky Roma. Glenn Ross, great character as well.
Glengarry, he doesn't get any credit for Glengarry getting Glenn Ross because of I think Alec Baldwin's speech. Coffees for Closers, kind of
really
the whole movie.
ABC's always be closing.
Always be closing, and Ed Harris was in that movie, just like
Ed Harris was great in that movie. Kevin Spacey. Obviously Kevin Spacey. We don't really talk about him much anymore due to some of his nefarious ways. But Kevin Spacey was good in that movie, and so was Jack Lemmon. Of course, was fantastic.
Jack Lemmon. I think he inspired The Simpsons for that old Gil character, where he's just come on, give old Gil a try.
Yeah, no, he totally did.
But no, the Al Pacino, Michael Corleone's character, and then you have Cuban version of Michael Corleone with Scarface.
Tony Montana.
That was basically
son of a woman.
To my
Son of a
little
woman.
friend.
Son of a Woman was very good as well. Yeah, it's getting back to Scarface. That was basically Florida's version of The Godfather, right? That was
totally.
And
With cocaine. With
not
cocaine.
a lot. A Dog Days Night. I mean, there's
It's not
more.
quite the West Virginia version, but it's right there.
It is not. West Virginia needs that. West Virginia kind of needs
No,
that.
West Virginia has it. It's called The Wild and Wonderful Whites. You ever see that documentary?
Yeah, with
No.
the incest, right?
They're not incest.
What?
There's no incest.
No.
In the Whites.
What is it now? What is
I'm
it now?
thinking of the family that the one guy barks like a dog, and he's like, you know, because they're.
Oh yeah, that guy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, The Wild and Wonderful Whites is Jessica White and those guys, the family from Boone County. Hank Williams 3 is in the and it's a document. Johnny Knoxville made it actually about 10, 15 years ago. This was the precursor basically to Tiger King, if you will. These people are nuts. They're out of control. Moonshiners, just criminals. They are literally the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Check it out. It's on Amazon. It's on it's on most of the streaming services.
I have to check it out now because, you know, it feels very interesting, especially with the setting of West Virginia. West Virginia, it's almost like they saw the whole state and they were like, it kind of leans all the way down. Should we build here? And they're like, absolutely. Build here. There's coal mines. It doesn't matter.
What's I always thought the fun thing I always found interesting about it, West Virginia is, you know, everybody always calls it like the racist part of it, you know, like they say a lot of like there's like what the funny thing is it seceded from Virginia to get away from slavery.
It did.
Right.
But yet everything's for the
to fight for the North. Yeah.
Yeah, they went to the north, but yet everybody thinks we're the racists. No, you know, we're not.
No, it's it's you want to see real racism, man. You go down towards like the Alabama area,
Mississippi,
Mississippi. I mean, geez, you have people that are black hating each other. They're like, I don't want to hire him. It's like, why? Look at him. It's like, dude, what the fuck's going on here? What are you doing? What the hell? But yeah,
how about a little bit of this or that? Of course, let's throw another twofer in there. How about Anthony Hopkins versus Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Ooh, Hopkins versus Schwarzenegger. That's
what I'm doing. One. I was gonna say that's kind of a hard. I mean, that's like
unusual. That's unusual.
I would say
Schwarzenegger or Stallone.
No.
Schwarzenegger. That's an easy one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Hopkins,
that's an easy one.
Anthony Hopkins. It's two completely different genres, I guess.
It's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting rid of one in all their movies, so you're either keeping one and saving it, or you're dumping one and keeping all of their shit.
I'll give me Schwarzenegger. You know, just give me Schwarzenegger.
I'm going to say Schwarzenegger too, because I mean, Terminator, True Lies. I mean, he did have some great films.
Yeah, I'm going to go Schwarzenegger as well.
No offense against Anthony Hopkins.
No, absolutely not. Anthony Hopkins is a wonderful actor.
He was in the last deserving Oscar. He was in this the movie The Father. Did you see that or no? The movie The Father, where he stars, he's like he's an older guy. He's kind of.
I don't think I saw that one.
It got an Oscar, and it deserved to get an Oscar the next year as well. Just like if they ran it and re-released it. It was that good of a movie, honestly. But yeah, amazing actor as well. It's just it's tough to compare those two. You know, I don't know. It's
it's apples and orange. Like I said, they're too different.
All right, let's throw in a little more something a little bit closer than Vin Diesel versus The Rock.
Ooh, you know, that's actually it's closer. I'm leaning Diesel myself too, because it's closer than you would think. Man, only because
I'm a little rocked out myself. You know,
The Rock has thrown a bunch of shit against the wall, and to make it stick, he was at the peak of his existence, and now he's kind of fallen a little short.
I think The Rock has much more likability than Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel caught a lot of heat just for basically being so one-dimensional. But then again, The Rock is also pretty one-dimensional. Not a lot of range going on there.
Very true. I was gonna say, I honestly think I would go now acting. I'd go Vin Diesel. As a person, I'd go The Rock.
Not by much though. Even when Vin Diesel,
not by a lot.
And that's nothing against either one of them, but Vin Diesel, when he's in the Chronics of Riddick or whatever, right? Remember he's
And
he's still talking. Yeah, Pitch Black, and he's still talking. He's just like, it's like, sir, are you from Brooklyn? This is another planet. What is that accent?
Yeah,
it just I don't know, man. I'll lean Vin Diesel on this one.
I think I'll go Vin Diesel. Just barely. I think I buy it.
Oh God, yeah, it's tough. Okay. Here's one for you. It's a face-off. Nick Cage movies or Travolta movies?
that is the true face-off.
That is What was more annoying when Nick Cage was pretending to be John Travolta or John Travolta pretending to be Nick Cage? But you have to destroy one career. Francis Ford Coppola's nephew or John Travolta's assault on massage therapists?
That's because both of them have a few. I mean, like John Travolta has Pulp Fiction. He has. What was the Con Air? I enjoyed that movie. But then Nick Cage also has Raising Arizona, which I enjoyed a lot. I mean, that's actually a tough one because they both have a couple movies that most of their movies I could do without. The good majority of them I could do without. But there's a couple of them that I think I would go Travolta by a hair.
By a hair.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm taking Travolta too.
I'm taking Nick Cage only because of the latest movie that he's had out where he played himself. So perfectly too, I'll go Nick Cage so John Travolta can't lead a movie by himself.
No, you're right about that. He can't.
He'll like Pulp Fiction. He was so good because Samuel L. Jackson was also so good.
Bruce Willis was so good. Ving Rhames was so good. Such a great movie.
Like I always think, and it's an unpopular opinion that I feel that as popular and as much as I love Bill Murray, people love Bill Murray unless you're a woman working on set with him and he just starts, doing whatever he wants, allegedly.
Supposedly.
But I feel like you could take whatever character Bill Murray's playing, take Groundhog Day, for instance, and replace him with practically anybody, and it'd still be the same movie. You could
practically replace him with the Groundhog.
You couldn't do that with You couldn't do that with John. You couldn't do that with like a John Belushi type in Animal House. You couldn't replace that character with somebody else.
We were talking before we went on air about Ben Stiller in Dodgeball. You couldn't replace Ben Stiller in Dodgeball. I don't.
Correct. Yeah. That character. Now, if that character's not in the movie, we lose out a little bit, right?
The movie would not be as good. Not by a long. Even though the rest of the people in the movie were good too. Vince Vaughn was funny in it. I mean, there was definitely some good, but I mean, without Ben Stiller in Dodgeball, he was the glue that made it the iconic comedy that it is today.
With the ensemble cast there, they needed to be the way that they were in the movie to allow Ben Stiller to be that. That character, that pop ability. It's like the one movie that everyone was excited for at the time. Remember the Cable Guy with Matthew Broderick, Jim Carrey? People were like, "Oh my god!" And this was on the heels of Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. We're all waiting. Whoa, Cable Guy! What the fuck is this about? And you're watching, you're like, "Wow, this is terrible. All of this is bad. What the fuck? What am I doing? Maybe it gets better." And you watch the whole thing and you're like,
it didn't get better.
It did not. No, it was as bad as Matthew. I don't know. Has Matthew Broderick had a movie better since Ferris Bueller?
No.
Has anyone between that whole
Biloxi Blues wasn't so bad.
Okay, maybe. I mean, if I'm do I have to force myself to maybe if it's not instinctively good, like Wellsville, I think that was the name of the movie. It was played on Comedy Central so many times because it was just like one of those throwaway movies.
Yeah,
Like,
got one of those box office bombs straight to DVD type things.
yeah, like a Dutch with Ed O'Neill. Even though he did play a very convincing stepfather, but then you're like, oh my god, why is my mom fucking Al Bundy now? You know,
like what was that movie with the kid android? Daryl. That movie Daryl. That was another movie.
Well, that's a throwback from the 80s.
Yeah, Daryl.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to throw out two names because they're the same person, yet a different name. Me and Brad had talked about this the other day. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Gerard Butler.
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, no question.
No, it's Javier Bardem. I'm sorry, Javier Bardem and Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Because he's married to Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
Still Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem had one good role. That was it for me. He was. That's
it?
It's one thing I can ever think of him in. What else has he been in? What else has Javier Bardem been in?
See here, okay, Walking Dead. You know, yeah.
Harvey, what was he? He was the villain in James Bond, right?
Yep.
Not Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Javier Bardem.
Right,
yeah.
and then he did Love in the Time of Cholera, which was a good movie. It was entertaining.
He was in Dune. He played the king in The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I don't care about any of these.
He played in F1 recently.
He was Harvey Bullock in the new Batman movie, right? He was, Tony. He was. You don't got to think about it. Listen, that new Batman movie, the lens that they used on the camera. Now, Matt, you're gonna really appreciate this. The lens and the shots that they used in that new Batman movie was the same kind of feel that you would get from watching a Law and Order SVU. Okay,
you're talking about the Batman with Robert Pattinson, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
That was a good. I enjoyed them a lot.
Okay, I'm about to fucking ruin it for you because I need to ruin this shit. Okay.
Dude, it was a great Batmobile.
Strap in.
Great Batmobile. Absolutely. Perfect. Yes, 1000%. Great Batmobile. Big problem. Commissioner Gordon looks like he's out of his fucking mind. And I'll preface this. They're at a crime scene, and Batman is there because why not? And he's walking the room. And a cop asked a logical question. What the fuck is he doing here? Without saying fuck, because PG-13, right? So he's like, what is he doing? Yeah, what's he doing here? And then Commissioner Gordon's like, oh, I let him here. Oh, okay. So I guess we just, as cops, we let people dressed in full bat attire in crime scenes to just silently walk around. The fuck is going on here? Old Batman would not need to be there. He'd wait for the cops to leave. He'd pop in on Commissioner Gordon. You don't know if they're playing some kind of schizophrenic, Tyler Fight Club bullshit where, you don't know is there a real Batman thing? You can play that. But no, he's literally just walking around.
And he's the more pacifist of Batman as well.
Dude, I can't even hang out a fucking ice cream shop that long or a Walmart just doing nothing, let alone a crime scene that doesn't involve me because I'm not a cop. Dude, you want to be a cop? Fill out an application, have fun, take out the bat suit. It ruined the idea for me there. I did not like anything about the movie. Oh my God, the Riddler's costume with a good actor. They ruined the idea by having him wear that stupid...
That was a hell of an actor to play the Riddler.
Hell of an actor, but let him keep his face. I mean, they got a bag over his head basically the whole time.
They cucked him a little bit.
Dude, that was the lamest
with the zipper mask.
I don't think they've ever done the Riddler correct, by the way. So it's sad. Maybe back in the TV series.
Frank Ocean was probably the closest to but he was way over the top and cartoony too. So, I mean,
come on, Jim Carrey wasn't the best Riddler.
Jim Carrey had a great opportunity as the Riddler, and he blew it. The writing was so bad. It was just trash.
Jim Carrey, they should have given him the role as the Joker. What the fuck? What's wrong with these people? You have a top-tiered comedian at the time, and they're like, oh, comedy. Oh, Riddler. What? Dude, if you're going to have anybody be the Riddler, have it be Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal with?
What's the difference with battery?
He was supposed to be Robin Williams originally. That would have been cool.
It was supposed to be Robin Williams, and they used that bait to get Jack Nicholson to put his name down.
Right.
Because
that's the Joker, yeah.
And they kind of cast the same guy, because a poorly drawn Jack Nicholson is a Michael Keaton right there, because they got the same fucking thing going on, the same hairline. Think about it. I always say Michael Keaton is too good looking to play Ray Kroc, and he's not good enough looking to play Bruce Wayne.
Play Batman. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I was going to say, unfortunately, Val Kilmer passed away this past week.
Oh my God, yeah, that's heartbreaking.
That sucks, man.
A fantastic actor, by the way. Go ahead, Brett.
All right.
Well, in The Doors, man, he just nailed it. Like the Doors is just
Doors,
he nailed it.
Yeah, he was great as Jim Morrison for sure.
Yeah.
But Matt, what is your iconic role, sir, that you have given the chef's kiss to? One that you took to heart, one that you put the pen to paper and you were like, oh man, this is the role for me right here.
Well, one role that I enjoyed playing is actually probably one of my only non-horror roles, where I actually played a villain. His name was he was actually kind of the Joker Riddler type character in the film Brazen Impact that I did. His name was Crazy Larry, and I was actually, it was a really a cool character, because I got to really get into the character and really experience what it was like being a villain and whatnot. And one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my career, quote unquote, film career, was when I died, which, I mean, spoiler alert. Sorry, I mean, that's a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen Brazen Impact. It's free to stream on the app Plex, by the way. But anyway, when I meet my end or whatever, the whole theater stood up and cheered. Now that was great. I was like, oh my God, it's a great feeling to know that you moved on where they hated you so much. Mm-hmm. They stood up and cheered when you died. It was just.
Now, do you ever get into that point where, and not necessarily like, there's a lot of actors who are out there who play iconic villain roles, and they get kind of stereotyped, and they get very, very much typecast into those particular roles, but are hated implicitly because of those particular roles, and that they're done so well that you're like, man, I hate that guy with a passion.
I just want to see him get beat by anybody. I don't care. I just want to see him get beat. I just want to see him lose at any cost, at whatever the cost or whatever. I hear you, yeah, for sure.
I love that. Love it.
It was like that kid for Game of Thrones, It was
like
the only time that everybody wanted
this
kid to be just destroyed.
The only time you can watch a kid get poisoned, and you're like, all right,
yeah, you're like, I'm down with that.
I love him getting ripped apart by horses, but small victories.
That's definitely true. Well, we do take you around the world into some news topics. Kevin, I know there's a couple things on our list as far as the things that are happening out in the world. But speaking of movies, did you know that the dire wolf is actually coming back from extinction? They're going to bring back.
Listen, I've been a proponent of them burying the last dire wolf at the pet cemetery. Anyways, we would have never had this problem. We would have had much stronger and more vicious dire wolves.
They would have been better dire wolves.
Exactly, man.
Building back dire wolves.
Build back the fucking dire wolves, with a vengeance. These things are looking like they could be tamed. It's
no way. What kind of stupidity shit is going on in the world?
Listen, man. Like, how much are we gonna? You already know, Tony. We're gonna read a month from now that somebody got attacked by their pet dire wolf, and then they're gonna be like, if you're adopting a pet dire wolf, just know that it could attack your children and yourself. They don't know where they are. It's like having a pet dinosaur. I mean, some exotic animal trait is going to happen along the way, man.
Love that shit. Love it. The Colossal Biosciences says that it brought back the dire wolf, a species that's been extinct for 13,000 years. 13,000 years. And they're like, Fuck it. You know what the world needs more of?
Dire wolves.
Dire.
You know, that's just the thing, though. You know, you'll have some, political group out there being like, oh, they're just going to extinct themselves again.
we did a horror comedy movie where we actually had people sticking up for zombie rights. The people say, "Don't kill the zombies."
That's great.
They're
still in there. We got to find a cure real quick.
Yeah, they're gonna kill you too if you don't. They're gonna kill you too if you don't. But yeah, no, that's what that reminded me of, was that whole thing. Where we're like,
the newest
save the zombies.
there is the newest trend app out there. It's called the Gut Check app. Now, Maddie, have you heard about the Gut Check app? Brad, you got to download the Gut Check app. The Gut Check app is where you download the app and you go into any McDonald's, you take a shit on the toilet seat, you take a picture of it and upload it to the Gut Check app, and that's it. That's
literally what
it's just a gallery of shit pictures.
You think you think that we're not doing anything with this technology, man? We are doing stuff. We are.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. I was afraid for a moment, that we were wasting all this great technology.
Now, have no fear. If you
me and Brad are going to get into a shit posting at work. Like, hey man, look at this. What I left.
Look, Tony, I left it on the floor. I left it on the floor this time.
Oh man,
Don't
how about this?
There.
This is my favorite right now. Jojo Siwa. Am I saying that wrong?
Jojo Siwa, you're right in it.
Jojo Siwa is selling VIP tour tickets for over $900, where fans can help her crew set up for concerts. Wow. Hate to be a slave. How about that?
Didn't Gene Simmons already try that? But he was charging.
He did try that.
He was charging wasn't he? He was like $1,500 or something.
$1,500. Yeah.
It was like $1,300 at least. It was to be his roadie. I'm like, that
to be his roadie. Yeah.
While we were on the subject of movies, I think we really should have gotten into the remakes. Now, Hollywood has a lot of remakes constantly coming out, and everyone hates the remakes, but they keep coming out with them anyways. The newest of all remakes, which it's going to put a tear to your eye when if it comes out and it's actually good. Liam Neeson is now in the Naked Gun. Yeah.
Yes.
So we have to talk about this because it's right in there.
This is real. I thought this was an April Fool's joke.
100%. 100% real.
There's a trailer out there and everything. Tony was showing it to me.
Yeah.
You gotta check out the trailer.
They have a phenomenal trailer out there right now, and the trailer actually is it's funny. It's funny because, and it opens up with a little girl walking into a bank, and we're gonna take this frame by frame. So it's a little girl walking to a bank. There's a bank hold up, and a little girl walks into the bank. The guy goes, "Hey, little girl, you're in the wrong room." He goes, rips off his face, and it's Frig Drebin, and he goes something like "I'm gonna kill you" or something, and like throws lollipops and like stabs people in the throat with the lollipop stick.
What Leslie Nielsen used to do is there was a cartoonish aspect to it. In the first one, just a little bit. And then throughout time, it just kept getting a little bit more cartoony, ridiculous, and a little bit more like a lot word play every joke, and that's fine, because you did a good one movie. The second, we know it's a comedy, we know it's whatever. It's supposed to jump the shark many times, but not into outer space sort of thing. Liam Neeson just taking up his face. It's a grab from Mission Impossible movies. Obviously, the height comparison between the little girl and him, it's a big ask from the audience to just say, okay, and this is the preview. This is what they want you to see to get you to see the movie right off the rip. I didn't really. The one preview that I did like is when OJ's face came up and the idea, and they're like,
Well, they're all crying in the hallway about their respective dads, and like he's there with his dad. And then the commander's son is there talking about his dad, and then the OJ's son comes up. He goes, "Nah, I'm good."
Wow.
And and it's about it's a Paramount movie. So if they start showing you a toilet paper commercial halfway through that last 3 minutes, don't be surprised, because it's a Paramount movie. They don't think people have toilet paper. That's why they want you to watch those commercials. That's a jab at that is a hard jab right there, if not a hook at the Paramount app. What a piece of shit, man. Yeah, April 3rd. So it's already out there. They got the teaser trailer. He's he's starring Frank Drebin Jr. So they're staying in the same scope. They're not taking the old character, and they're not just like putting a new face on it, which I like.
Well, I mean that's not as bad, I guess. It's not. I mean, it's still stupid.
It's not as bad as doing Snow White again and then being like, okay, we're gonna.
Well, Snow White. I think the problem with that movie I don't think it was necessarily the different narrative. I think it was just the girl is just so insufferable. The girl that plays that character is just so insufferable that
she wasn't very likable. I have a big,
not likable at all.
I mean, I have a bigger problem with the movie Beauty and the Beast, because there's this one guy, he's kind of a jerk or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, Beauty, you want to hang out and blah blah blah, and I'll get your dad a job," and he's just saying it in such a tone where you feel like he's trying to buy her affection. Meanwhile, later on in the movie, she gets kidnapped by some guy with a horse dick, and where he's like, you just gotta fucking hang out here now with my talking objects of shit. And she's like, well, this is fucking terrible. Like, wouldn't you then say like, oh man, I should have just hung out with that dude at the beginning of the movie, because he was
in the side clips. In the side clips, they have things that jumped out of her nightstand.
Yeah, because my thing is, if you kiss the frog and it just turns out to be a talking frog, if she hooks up with the beast and she's like ruined down there now, right? And so she's like, oh, God, why aren't you turning back to a human? He's like, 5 minutes too late. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I'm stuck like this, and you're not walking for a couple of days, are you? You're good.
Sparky's hiding himself in shame.
It's okay to laugh, Brad. It's all right. It's just it's a bestiality joke, but the beast can actually talk, and he's in control of the whole situation too. He's like, a witch. By the way, a witch made him like that, so he's already on jerk level territory where they fucking turn him into a fucking beast. She should have hooked up with the first guy. And they give her a couple character tropes that Disney gives a strong woman in the 90s, where they're like, what do strong women do? Oh, I got it. They read books. Good. That will be her
but they
only
put him in as
character.
the strong heterosexual male in the in that particular role.
The fuck they did?
With an
No.
X.
No, hold on. They put the beast in there as if he's the victim to all this.
No. The guy that was that had his best friend that was trying to sleep with Belle.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, that's
Garcon or whatever the hell's his name is. Gaston.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's better than them juking the age stats on Pocahontas, where they're like, "Oh shit, should we keep her at 11?" They're like, "Yeah, of course." Wait, it's a crime, right? We can't.
No, Maddie, you may not know, but Disney has 10 upcoming live-action Disney remakes actually in the process. Now, in this process, they have Lilo and Stitch, which is actually coming out in towards the middle of the year.
I think I saw a trailer for that.
Live action, yep. Moana is coming in 2026, so next year. The Moana live action remake.
Thank you. We did just get a Moana.
You're right.
Moana.
Yes,
what Moanas can we get?
We're gonna get a live action, Brad. That's right.
Probably with The Rock. Just saying. Just putting that out there.
The third
one's gonna happen.
The third one's a little bit off the rocker.
In there.
Of course.
The third one's a little bit off the rocker. The Aristocrats. Aristocats. Cats. I'm sorry.
I mean, was the Aristocrats that great back in the day that they need to make a live action? No.
I mean, it was kind of a bomb, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I mean,
the next one is Hercules.
They're running out of ideas. I mean, that's just they're out of ideas.
The next one is Hercules, the live action remake.
Again,
Okay.
why? Why?
Who's gonna play Hercules?
Hercules is basically Superman that can't
Dumbledore.
fly and isn't allergic to a green
They're gonna
rock.
have Spider-Man play Hercules.
Yeah, right.
Toby,
Right.
that's serious, by the way.
For real.
Yeah. Tom
Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's like 4 feet tall. How's he supposed to play
my
Hercules?
God.
I don't know.
They're gonna make everybody. They're gonna shoot it in China. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna
How dare you discriminate? Don't discriminate.
Why, are you a Tom Holland fan, Matty?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, don't discriminate among height, and that's what these things are supposed to be about. Don't discriminate. Don't.
No, that's true.
Oh yeah. They're like, actually, historically, we looked it up, and it turned out Hercules was not only 4 foot tall; he was bisexual too.
Yeah, he was not CGI'd as a dwarf in the Snow White movie.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, we got to do damage control here, people.
That's true. That's true. Number 5 pops in at Cruella 2.
Just what I always wanted.
Bomb.
Yeah. Number 6 is Tangled. Tangled.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
The girl with the long hair.
Rapunzel. That was
Rapunzel, let down my hair.
What the? What is the point? What is the point of that? I don't know.
Well, live action remake there, Matt.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry.
grab,
I'm
sir,
not a
cash
Disney. I'm just not a Disney fan. I've never been a Disney fan in my life. Like seriously, even when I was a kid, I didn't watch Disney. It was weird. I'm not a.
Well, if you didn't like that one, you're not gonna like the next 4, buddy. The next one is Robin Hood, another Robin Hood movie.
They should make a live action 101 Dalmatians where only half of the Dalmatians survive.
There you go.
Yeah. They're like 62 and a third.
They put that in that same universe as like the Winnie the Pooh and the Bambi and all the horror flicks that they're making. Popeye.
Yo, they look great, by the way. They look really fantastic.
Oh, they are. They are. Let me tell you, there's something else.
Number 8 pops into The Sword and the Stone.
Boy, boy, they are reaching, aren't they? Wow,
They are reaching.
I vaguely remember that. Is the Black Cauldron on this list by chance?
The Black Cauldron may be with The Sword and the Stone.
The dialogue for The Sword and the Stone always makes that wizard guy look like a pedo, where he's like, he's like, all right, we need somebody to grab the sword out of so this guy's like, oh, I'll do it. He's like, no, we'll try the child first.
Well, I was going to say, who's more of a pedo than Willy Wonka? Come on.
Willy Wonka, I think, was more of a marketing, like a marketing sleaze bag more than a pedo, because he was killing the children, not fucking them. All the time.
That's true.
Well, but still, there's some blurred lines there.
They're like, oh,
there's some gray room in there, Kevin.
You gotta help the fat kid that's drowning. He's like, I don't gotta do shit. Anyways, on with the tour. Here,
hey, nobody's gonna find him.
Even at the end where he's like, all right, Charlie, you and your grandfather can leave now. And he's like, wait, don't we get the everlasting gobstopper? He's like, no, you don't get
You
nothing.
touch the fizzy lifting drink.
Listen, man, I got 6 dead kids, and I thought you were dead too. You don't get nothing.
We can't leave witnesses.
Joe, for making your family suffer, but
then, Matt, you make a good point. At the end, where Charlie's like, oh, here's the thing back. He's like, Charlie, all right, let's get it on.
Gotcha.
I've been feeling some, and the grandpa's like, can I watch? And he's like, you know what? Why not, Grandpa Joe? Get in here.
Here we go. I am going to make a point, though, Kevin.
Okay.
Here's the point of the month. You know what Grandpa Joe was actually doing, though, don't you?
That son of a bitch, Grandpa Joe. He was the real villain. It's not even freaking Alfred Pennyworth.
He was doing a social security scam. How can you be laying in bed for 10 years and all of a sudden jump up and be like, I'm ready to go?
Yeah, I think
check stuff that coming in the mail, and that's.
I think that's what the whole Doge thing right now is going on in the government, where they're like, we got a whole bunch of Grandpa Joes out here that aren't even living. And we're like, could you prove that? They're like, oh yeah, check it out. Look at it.
Here, look.
They turn it real quick,
They're pulling names out of the cemetery. The cemetery.
It's Pet Cemetery, yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Number 9 pops into the movie that no one asked for, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I asked for it.
I-
I did.
I-
I said, the cartoon wasn't spaced out enough.
Just make the black cauldron at this point.
Now you may
Might
be
as
saying to
well.
yourself, number 10, where have you been all my life? Because no one
I
has really asked for this one either. It's Bambi.
Bambi. I mean, they should just they've made Bambi again. It was called The Deer Hunter.
Yeah. They've made 6 Lion Kings. 6 Lion King movies.
That was overkill.
Tony, the thing about it is though, Tony, Disney did actually pause production on Tangled though already. They halted production.
Oh, well, Snow White bottomed them out good. Apparently they've lost. I know they lost a lot of money on Snow White, so they might be rethinking this. Might be rethinking this whole thing. Actually, they may be rethinking this whole.
That'd be great.
I hope so, because I like to see some more. I mean, it'd be great to see some actual original content. But
original content would be really. I'm all for diversity, but you have to. If you're just giving, if the way that they're doing it right now is they're saying, well, all right, white people, you've done this one enough. Let's give it to a whole new race. It's nothing new. It's old clothing. You're not. If I come to a birthday party and pack up my old clothes and give it as a present to the child, I'm going to look like a fucking jerk. I don't get any kind of, trophy saying, hey, man.
30 years.
Yeah. Oh, here's my toys from 30 years ago. Cool kid and everything. Like, dude, that's vintage, a shitty move. Vintage. It's a broken toy. I put it in a box. It's nothing good about it. It's been used a lot, Tony. You see what I mean? Snow White is not a new script. Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, these are not new scripts, but Disney is not really about hiring writers. Hell, the fucking most original script I've seen out in the last 10 years has been a movie that doesn't even exist by Tom Hanks, Uncle Bus, starring Tom Hanks with the AI thing. Did you see that before, Maddie and Brad, or no?
What was it now?
So
Uncle
what
Bus.
happens is Uncle Bus. Tom Hanks is a person's uncle who is now, his soul has been possessed to a city bus. And the only person that can hear him is his nephew. At midnight on Halloween, he has to race the devil, or he will forever, and everyone in the world will forever be turned into buses. They gave AI a chance to make a movie, and they have Tom Hanks do the whole Uncle Bus thing for it. Not Uncle Buck, but Uncle Bus. By the way, it's not a real movie, but you know what? I was actually like wanting to see it. I'm like, you know what? Tom Hanks has got to make this happen. Uncle Bus.
I say we take the 50 Dalmatians that survive. They get rabies, right? And they turn into little baby Cujos. And we just kind of roll with that idea.
I just think that Cruella de Vil is just like, it feels like they were wanting to have 101 Dalmatians. And they're like, wait, we need a villain. Like, how are we going to have a villain with this? Maybe a woman wants a coat made of Dalmatians. Like, what the fuck? Wouldn't the coat be polka dotted then? Instead of what she was wearing and wanting?
Right, look more like a cow.
That's why she needs 101 of them, so they could be solid white. They just need 20 spots.
She got all the spots out, right? Sticks.
That's why she needs 101 of them.
He's getting
Why
white
they
out
Dalmatians then? Let's just take a white dog.
Take a white dog. Valid point there. Here's another valid
just
point.
Hey, Brad,
here,
you should be in Hollywood.
The
Seriously,
Dalmatian.
seriously,
Listen,
full of all these
Different
great ideas.
consistency in the hair.
the Dalmatian to begin with is, like, oh, I'm sorry, this one came out with stripes on it. Into the fire. Like they were breeding that so
Sorry,
hard.
little buddy.
That's it. I mean that's that old school Disney morbid charm.
Have you ever run into morbid charm? I mean, Pinocchio has some weird fucking scenes throughout the whole entire thing and a weird origin. But have you ever run into like an 8-year-old Dalmatian where they're like biting the air and they're like, don't pet him, he bites. Like, dude, what the fuck happened to your dog? Did you raise him to fight or something? And they're like, no, they just get like full fucking stupid after 6. And they do. They got a lot of tumors and all sorts of crap because of overbreeding. And mixing up a lot of different breeds from that point.
On that note, Kevin, that note, we have to end this show.
Man, this was a banger for sure, Tony.
There was a lot of deep things discussed on the show.
A lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Maddie, do you have anything going on at the moment that you would like to discuss as far as your particular career, sir?
Well, I have I was gonna say, I'm not sure where are you guys based out of, just out of curiosity.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, well, I have a couple screenings of a new film that I'm doing called Blood and Breakfast. It's screening at the Marley Station Mall in Baltimore at the end of this month, and I'm also doing a show outside Philadelphia at the end of June. It's run by the Delco Horror Haven. It's at the Media Townhouse in Media, Pennsylvania, which is like a outer suburb of Philadelphia. So yeah, we got those things going on. I've got Carolina Fear Fest in Raleigh coming up with a bunch of cool celebrities and whatnot. Malcolm McDowell's coming. We got a couple of people from Chucky, like some cool stuff happening there. So that's probably about it. I got a couple screenings of that going on. The only one should be hitting distribution by the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that. We just signed with a distribution company, so hopefully we'll be able to get that movie out into streaming and maybe even to theaters.
Do they have a particular name or like the distribution company?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah, I just said yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm actually allowed to say it. But okay. It's a pretty good distributor. They have a. I'll hint one thing. They do have a movie. Well, they do have a movie doing a limited run in theaters now. That's actually based on an old Disney product. I'll just say that. Maybe you can if you want to put the clues together. But yeah, but hopefully that'll wind up doing pretty well. But yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say if anybody in the Philadelphia area, June 29th, we'll be at the Media Townhouse, and at the end of this month, we'll be at the Marley Station Mall for the Halfway to Halloween event put on by Fright Reads Book Festival. So
nice. Well, Kevin, Sparky. No, wait, Sparky, where can you find us, sir?
You can find us on every single major streaming platform, including iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, Castbox, Pocket Cast, GeoReel, Facebook Live Video, Google, YouTube. You could also find
anywhere you stream, we are there.
You could also find our merchandise on our Facebook page. Just click on the link. Find our merch.
Buy some shirts. It doesn't go. We didn't raise our prices because of the tariffs either, because we're thinking about you, the consumer.
We are tariff free in 2025.
You see, we're going to make about 80 cents less per shirt because of the tariffs, but we don't care because it's 80 cents. What are we, greedy scumbags or something? Have to take it out of the consumer all the time? Of course not.
Probably true.
We're happy you're buying shirts.
Big shout out to Double B, Brad Barrish. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We appreciate you as well.
Man. I appreciate you guys having me.
I'm sure we'll get some of the backlash at work, but
no, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Kevin, but we appreciate your time, sir. We appreciate.
I tell Tony all the time that I think you're hilarious.
That's true. True.
It's true.
Who's that?
Who's your favorite, Brad?
Oh, I love you both equally. It's too difficult.
I'm taking full credit on the love right
there.
Yeah,
it's too difficult. I mean,
such a safe answer.
Kevin kind of rolls in like what was this famous line? Tony rolls in like a diseased blanket.
Oh, like a diseased blanket, yeah.
Yeah,
like a diseased blanket, right?
Tony rolls in like the smallpox blanket to that fucking office.
Right.
Yeah, he's coming in there, Cheeto dust off his fucking hands. Right. Right.
I appreciate you guys having me on, man. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, we appreciate you. Guys, check us out every Monday night, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary.
Of course, the ever-loving Picasso.
Ole Sparky.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, catch us next week. We have some great guests set up for the next couple weeks. And can't wait to bring them to you. It's going to be awesome. We'll catch you guys soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.